Hello, my name is Lauren Hyde. I'm the executive director of our Alabama Business Intelligence Center at the Economic Development Partnership of Alabama. So we're really good at doing the research, and we're really good at keeping historical files. And we were searching through spreadsheet after spreadsheet every time we got a new RFI request or a request from one of our partners or an economic development organization. And so we stopped and asked ourselves, we always want to answer the question, but could we do it more efficiently? Could we do it more effectively? And so we came up with the solution of if we could start with a solid list, right? Because we're doing this research, and if we could build on it every single time, that would have better outcomes. So it started as a simple, like, if we just had a good database, and then it became obvious of, well, if everything's in this nice, clean database, what else could we do? So we were thinking through our sites and buildings database and how we had put that in a great platform with GIS Web Tech using their Guru software. And we're like, essentially what we're trying to do is our sites and buildings database, but with company listings instead. And what if we had this amazing database that also allowed us to map, to filter in a much more customizable way, right? We're coming from Excel where you're just sorting and filtering by NAICS code, but what if you could filter by drive times? What if you could filter by, dragging a circle and getting really specific on your location? So it took us from solving one immediate problem and just gaining efficiency to getting access to a whole different level of capabilities and capacities. And so we're really, really pleased with the outcome. And so are our economic developers. I mean, we're building tools and resources that don't just make my team's job easier, that makes, our state and all of our economic developers' jobs easier. Yeah, when we first thought of needing a solution, we sat down as a team and thought, do we build something out? Is this, as simple as taking an Excel database and putting it into, a database software with Microsoft, like a SQL Server or something like that? Or do we want to build more capabilities out and we go partner with a, software development firm and contract with them to build it? And then we immediately realized that there are benefits to working with existing companies, right? And being able to leverage their ongoing investment in their software. It was convenient that we had such a good relationship with GIS Web Tech. So when we started to scope out what were our basic needs, realized that it was very similar to our sites and buildings database. It was a no-brainer. We've had such a good relationship with GIS Web Tech, and we've been very impressed with how they've interacted with us and all of their other customers and their customer advisory panel. And we have seen how our feedback has directly shaped the software and how they've continuously made improvements that have made the software easy to use, additional functionality. And so we knew if we could bring this idea to them, get them as excited about solving this problem as we were, knowing there was a common problem in economic development. This is something that was a pain point for a lot of our local and regional EDOs. Just really pleased with how the software development process and feedback went through the entire time. And we've been now using the industrial directory, as we call it, for several months now, with no issues and great response. So onboarding our EDOs has been easy. GIS Web Tech was very helpful in getting the communication and the training out, and also helping us get those folks onboarded. And so now we're off to the races. Yeah, gosh. When we would meet to review our research assignments for the week, our team would often talk about carving out a day or a couple days, depending on how detailed the ask was. And now that we're leveraging existing information, now that we have the extra capabilities of sort and filter and mapping, I mean, you're talking about a day's activity taking, 2 or 3 hours, not even a half a day. That's significant time savings, right? To not have to carve out, 2 days for a researcher to be able to do something in a matter of hours has been tremendously helpful for our team. Our RFI responses are made much easier because we're able to get to some of the detailed questions around, you know, an industry that's close by, or again, within a specific drive time. Not only are we able to do that a lot faster, but we're also able to do that in a much more accurate way. You used to have to proxy, especially the drive time ask, by just kind of eyeballing where, companies fell within a county. Now you can actually plot them on a map and do a 60-minute drive time. So the ask is made easier, resulting in significant time savings, but also I think made more accurate as well. I would say go for it. You're already having to answer the question. You probably already have data disparately scattered in Excel spreadsheets like we did, or Word documents, or wherever you keep it. So I'd say just take the leap. It's an easy onboarding process. Once you're in and you're using the platform, you won't regret having gone through that initial step of gathering your data, because again, you're saving time, and you're increasing your accuracy on the back end.